Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So the Game Awards has finally revealed the winners, and there are so many winners in different categories, but Game of the Year has gone to Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. I think that was a very good game and it's well deserved, especially that From Software has produced many good games in the past, and they even have this subgenre name that is a Souls game. What is surprising to me personally is that we didn't see some games like Metro Exodus get any game awards. I think that game was very good, and it was unfortunate that it didn't get any award at all. And I think it's also due to the fact that that game was exclusive to the Epic Game Store, so maybe it didn't have that much attention, at least on PC. And then there are many other awards like Best Community Support that went to Destiny 2. Best Score Music went to Death Stranding. Some people hate for some reason and some people are going to be happy because it didn't get a Game of the Year, even though it got nominated for it. And then Best Narrative goes to Disco Elysium. Best Fighting Game goes to Super Smash Bros. I think that one was like an easy win. Best Audio Design went to Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Best Strategy Game went to Fire Emblem Three Houses. And then there are other things like Content Creator of the Year. Best Art Direction goes to Control. Best Action Game goes to Devil May Cry, which is again a very good game. And then strange things like Best Family Game. I don't know what that exactly means. And it went to Luigi's Mansion 3. And then there are a lot of esports nominations that I'm not interested in at all, to be completely honest. Then Best Mobile Game goes to Call of Duty Mobile. Best Multiplayer Game goes to Apex Legend. Best Ongoing Game goes to Fortnite. Again, ongoing. I don't know what that exactly means. One of the games that were really appreciated and didn't get so many nominations probably is Disco Elysium. And of course everyone has their favorite game. This is just a games award, doesn't necessarily mean that the other games are bad or second to each other. So for example, if we look at Game of the Year nominations, we got Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and The Outer Worlds. And there are some really good games that could have made it to this list, just like I said, Metro Exodus or Devil May Cry 5, even though there is a Capcom game which is Resident Evil 2. I don't know whether it's possible to have two games from the same company nominated for Game of the Year, but it seems like they somehow chose just one game, which is Resident Evil 2 from Capcom. But Capcom has been on a blast recently and they made some really good games, and they are still of course making others, especially the remake for Resident Evil 3. And going to Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, I think it's a well deserved Game of the Year, even though some people wouldn't like it for some reason. There are some people who think it's too difficult. Yeah, get good. And there are some people who will say, yeah, it's got some minor things like the kind of frame pacing that the game suffers from, but it's just very minor if you compare what Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice is or has done well. For example, the game mechanic, like the deflection and the Mikiri counter, those game mechanics were really good and really satisfying to master. Again, it's a personal preference for me because Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is this game that takes place in medieval Japan, something that I have been longing to see, and even the game difficulty is something that scales well. And for example, you cannot fight multiple enemies like fighting them head on, just like a beat them up or something like that. So you always have to be very careful. Sometimes you need to use stealth. The game generally forces you to think more about how you fight your enemies rather than just going blindly and trying to kill everyone in front of you, because you will get killed if you try to do that. Unless you're really someone who's exceptionally good, then yeah. And the other big announcement is the new Xbox, which is now officially called Xbox Series X. Well, Microsoft has been notorious for changing the names of their consoles and having unpredictable names. I also think that their code names are much better than the real names. So for example, I think Xbox Scarlet was a name much better than this Series X. I'm not too thrilled about this name. And just, imagine you go to a shop and you want to buy that console and you tell them, yeah, I want the Xbox Series X. I don't think that's pleasant to hear at all. And then there is this design which looks like a mini PC in some way. I actually like the design, even though some people are just, laughing about it, but I think it's not so bad. I think it would have been kinda more fancy if it had this kind of a handle, But again, from the design itself, you can see that this game console is going to pack a lot of power, and probably it's got a lot of GPU and CPU power that it needs some big cooling solutions, and maybe that's why it looks that big. And again, if the performance is good and there is no thermal throttling, no performance problems, I think everyone will get over the design that they don't like and will happily buy the console and play the games, because what we have seen in the game trailer that was rendered in real time is very promising. There are 15 games with it that are going to launch. Probably the biggest of them is Hellblade 2, which is the successor to Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, and it seems this new Xbox is in a good start because it has got these 15 first-party games that are going to launch with it. So you're going to have games to play with and not wait for games to release. What we know so far is only that design, that controller, but we don't know about the specs, we don't know about the pricing, and we don't know about the exact release date. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and I will talk to you again soon. Have a good one.